What is up? Welcome back to another deck profile video. This time I'll be talking about the common and rare event which is going on currently in Master Duel. It's a pretty fun event actually. I like how it's going so far. It's not plagued by suicide decks, at least not that I've seen. It's a lot better than the Xyz event. And you get some decent matches for once. I do hope they kind of make this like a permanent format so that we can play it at any time, because it's pretty cool. So I've been on a tear in this tournament, going with the 90% win rate from last night to today, I guess. So that would be out of these 20 matches, it was 18 wins. One of these matches that I played on stream, I should have won, but I completely threw it. I actually had lethal, but forgot that I had it in my extra deck. So really, it should be 95% win rate. Now let's get into the deck profile. So I am playing Megaliths with the Incantation engine. This deck is insanely strong for this format. I'm surprised that they allowed all of these cards to be legal. Thought for sure they're going to ban PHUL or maybe even Bethor. But it has the ability to make it extremely unfair turn 1 board, and then turn 2 it can OTK pretty easily, even going second. And you have enough room to run a couple staples, as you can see, and these are some of the better ones in the format. So let's go through the deck profile. First start with the Incantation engine. So this engine doesn't see any play in the TCG because it was completely power crept by Drytrons. However, as it turns out, these cards are actually really powerful support for rituals. They have the ability to generate a lot of card advantage, though they do depend on having another ritual monster in hand, so it is a little restrictive, but you're playing plenty of ritual monsters, so they actually do boost consistency. The downside being that they do lock you out of the extra deck while they're on the field, but as soon as you get them off the field, then you can special summon from the extra deck. So I'm playing 3 of the Plume. The effect to add back a ritual spell from your graveyard comes up sometimes, but it's not that important. Really, the main reason you're playing 3 of this is because you can only use 1 of their effects per turn, and only once that turn, which is the restriction that they have on. It's like hard once per turn, but hard only 1 effect once per turn, if you get what I mean. So this one allows you to reveal a ritual monster and then special summon any other incantation from deck. So you're going to usually summon Talismandra, which lets you search a ritual monster when it's special summoned. So that's the reason why you're playing this, because you can reveal a ritual monster to do that, as opposed to the Candle, which requires you to reveal a ritual spell. So you're only playing 1 of those, which means it's unlikely that you're going to use that. So you usually actually just want to summon this guy from deck to search the ritual spell, which you can use Talismandra or Pensaplume to do. So these 3 allow you to get access to your ritual spell, which is Incantation Inception. This is also a really powerful ritual spell. It's kind of like a discount Meteonis Drytron, in that it can not only ritual summon more than once per turn, but it can also add itself back once. And that in doing so, it special summons another incantation from deck, which can generate even more advantage. So it's really just an advantage machine. Really, really powerful ritual spell. It does require you to tribute incantation monsters, but it's usually not a problem, as you're going to be searching it when you summon Candle. For your normal summons, you have 3 Senju and 3 Manju. Obviously, Manju is a better card than Senju, but Senju is also good in this deck. So you just play 3 of each for the highest consistency of drawing at least 1 of them. Unfortunately, Ben 10 is not legal in this format like it is in the Duel Links version of Megaliths, so you can't search these out. So you do have to just play 3 of them, which is fine. They're great cards in this deck. And Senju is like 99 times out of 100 just as good as Manju in this deck, in particular, since you're only playing that 1 ritual spell. Let's go into the Megaliths. First, let's go into Ophiel. Ophiel allows you to search a Megalith monster when it's ritual summoned. That's not once per turn. So as many times as you can summon it That's how many times you can search Megalith monsters, which is pretty awesome. Haggith is similar, except you're searching Megalith spells or traps. Also not once per turn. But they do have a second effect, which is hard once per turn. That is to ritual summon by using themselves and another monster, and other monsters. But they can ritual summon any ritual monster. And yeah, Megalith Auk. This one, when it's summoned, it can let you draw one card and then discard one card. You aren't always going to use that, but it can help you fix your hand if it's not great. It does have a quick effect, though, to ritual summon during the main phase any ritual monster, which comes in handy. I wouldn't play more than one of this, because there's really no need to. I mean, you're always going to search it whenever you need it, and you don't really want to open it. Then you have 3 Phaleg. You definitely want to max out on the level 8 Megaliths, mainly for the reason that they have the ability to ritual summon by discarding themselves, so that boosts the consistency of the deck. So I'm playing triple Phaleg, and there's also a huge beat stick that lets you OTK and get over big boss monsters, because it boosts all of your monsters by 300 attack and defense for each ritual monster in your graveyard. So that you can even summon multiple of these, and then it'll boost everything by 600 and get to really huge attack values and just destroy your opponent. And then 2 Bethor. I am surprised that they allowed us to play 2 of this and haven't limited it, because it's basically like the main win condition of the deck going first, at least. You want to set up Bethor to nuke your opponent's board during their turn. So when it's a ritual summoned, it can destroy, target and destroy cards your opponent controls up to the number of ritual monsters with different names in your graveyard. So you can get like 4 or 5 nukes if you're able to set up properly. And then it can also ritual summon by discarding itself, just like Phaleg. So that's it for the level 8s. We don't have Eratron because that is a super rare. That's another level 8 Megalith, but we can't play it obviously in this event. Then let's talk about the star of the deck, Megalith PHUL. This card is absolutely insane. I don't know why it's allowed in this event. I was certain that they would ban it, because they even said they were going to do something to the Megalith strategy. I thought for sure they were going to ban this card, but even at 1 copy, it's extremely powerful. It allows you to... it's the only one, first of all, that doesn't require you to discard itself or tribute itself to ritual summon. It's also a quick effect, though it is during the main phase only, but you can use it during either player's turn. And then when it's ritual summoned, it can also boost its level while also adding a Megalith monster from your graveyard to your hand. So if you add, obviously, a Bethor or Phaleg, then it becomes level 8, and it stays like that permanently while it's on the field, which is awesome. That can both help you with Xyz plays, and also if you want to tribute itself to summon Bethor or Phaleg during your opponent's turn, then you can only you can just tribute it if you modulate its level. Obviously, you want to use this to summon Bethor during your opponent's turn, like I said, and nuke their board. Though since you can only use it during the main phase, you want to keep your toggle button on at the bottom right. Just make sure you have those settings correctly. Otherwise, it won't prompt you for end of main phase. So when your opponent attempts to end their main phase, like say they set a few cards and they try to end their turn, then you can activate PHUL, summon Bethor, and then nuke everything. So yeah, PHUL is easily the best card in the deck. And it's great that we have one of them. Megalith Portal is the field spell. It comes in handy. I wouldn't play more than one because you can always search it with Haggith, but it allows you to add back ritual monsters, which keeps you from running out of resources. And it can also, once per turn, prevent your ritual summon monster from being destroyed by battle. That's for each ritual monster, which is pretty awesome, and your opponent is most likely not going to read it. It also activates the effect to add back, activates on special summon, not just ritual summon, so if you revive a Megalith with Megalith Emergence, it still triggers it, which is nice. It also works if your opponent is playing Megaliths, because it just says if a Megalith monster is special summoned, not just if you special summon a Megalith monster. That's something to note. And on a related note, you have Megalith Emergence. Again, I would only play one of this, but I think it's pretty good and good enough to justify playing in this deck because it can, again, keep your bodies coming back to prevent your opponent from OTKing you. It can also allow you to activate your field spell by special summoning them and then adding back another one from your graveyard. It does have a kind of restriction though. When your monster that you summoned with this effect leaves the field, it'll be placed on the bottom of the deck, which is fine. I mean, at least it doesn't get banished, so it's pretty nice. That is Emergence. I don't think I have anything else to say about that. As far as oh wait, let's talk about Unformed as well. How could I forget? This card's also really, really good. Not once per turn, by the way. It's a quick effect. It's not technically a ritual spell, but it's a quick play spell that lets you ritual summon. So it's basically a ritual spell. You can always set it and then activate it during your opponent's turn, or you can use it during yours. This both functions as a consistency booster and a disruption for your opponent, because you can even summon Bethor. You do have to tribute monsters whose levels equal 16 then, because it's double. The first effect to make your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack doesn't come up too often, but it's nice to have, I guess. Yeah, there's not really too much to say about it. This card is nice to open because it can help you start your plays if you don't have anything else. So I would play 3 of this definitely. As far as staples are concerned, we have 3 MST. That's pretty self-explanatory. There are a lot of trap cards running around as you would expect, and MST is the best spell and trap removal we have in this event. 3 Forbidden Chalice, really powerful staple, especially in this format. I mean, I don't have too much to say about it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a good card. Lost One is also really good because it can, well, first of all, it permanently negates the effects of your opponent's monsters, and then it can even reset itself. It's also a pretty solid choice. I don't think there's really anything else I would change for the main deck. I do like these ratios as they are. You definitely want to max out on your level 4s, except Auk. I would still play the 1, and then you need to max out on your level 8s. Play one of this, play one of this, play one of this. Like, there's not too much flexibility, I would say. It's really just these spots right here. And I guess you can cut this, but I wouldn't. It's pretty good. That's all for the main deck. Let's go to the extra deck. Obviously, it looks kind of weird. It's just like a mishmash of all of the best rank 4 and rank 8s that you can play, and plus a couple link monsters that work. Photon Papilloperative hasn't really come up, but I mean, you can change your opponent's monster to attack position and later do some more damage. Black Ship, it allows you to send your opponent's monsters without destroying, I believe. I haven't used this one yet, but it's nice to have. Yeah, it just sends, it doesn't destroy. So it bypasses some of the monsters that have destruction protection. This one I just threw in yesterday. I haven't used it yet, but I guess it could come up. Thunderspark Dragon. This is kind of a... It's not something that you're going to be able to make often. At least not to be able to use the level 5 effect, which is pretty awesome. Or sorry, not level 5. The 5 material effect. It is possible though, so I would like to have it. Rhapsody Berserk is pretty cool because it allows you to get rid of your opponent's potential threats, like, for example, Dragon Maid Tidying, which can cause problems in that it prevents you from OTKing. So this will allow you to just banish it or like force it out. Gagaga Samurai is a good OTK enabler since you can attack twice, especially when boosted by Phaleg. It gets a lot of damage on board. 11th Then is an obvious choice. It's one of the best Xyz monsters in this format. You can target one opponent's monster and banish it until their next standby phase. So this bypasses destruction protection and all of that, and allows you to go in for lethal. And then once it attacks, it gains attack and increases rank. Not that that really matters. I play 2 of this. Draglubion is another popular Xyz monster in this format. This one's a rank 8. It has decent protection and it can't be targeted. It also allows you to special summon one of your other Dragon Xyz monsters from the extra deck. So you're just going to go for Heart Earth Dragon. I don't think this card is all that great, but it allows you to... It could theoretically steal wins, I guess, because you can like crash it into your opponent's monster and they take the battle damage. I don't have too much to say about these. I mean, the effects are pretty self-explanatory. Number 84, Pain Gainer. So you can go from Draglubion into Pain Gainer. It's a good way to get to number 77. Number 77 is pretty solid in this format. Not only does it have high attack, you can also just banish all of your opponent's special summon monsters. And it even has pretty solid protection. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, or it can't if it has Xyz material. It'll detach to protect itself. Cross Sheep. Didn't have it used this much, but it is good to have in a ritual deck because you can draw 2 and discard 2 when you summon a ritual monster to like the zone that it points to. An underrated pick that I don't think I've seen most people playing, but I think is great for the turn 1 is Geonator Transverser. So when this card is linked, you're going to usually have it pointing to your PHUL. That prevents it from being destroyed by card effects. So you see people running cards like Lightning Vortex, and Geonator will prevent that. So while you have the field spell up, for example, your PHUL can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects, which makes it pretty hard to get rid of and makes it a lot safer to nuke your opponent's board. Yep, I like Geonator in this deck for sure. There are other cards that I considered playing, but I don't think are really necessary, like Blue Eyes Chaos Max, or sorry, Blue Eyes Chaos. It can't be just targeted or destroyed by card effects, which is pretty cool, but that's all that it has. It's just a beat stick. You can't use the other effects in this format because you don't have Blue Eyes White Dragon. So it's just a beat stick. You have plenty of beat sticks. Phaleg is a beat stick. The protection is nice, but I don't think it's really relevant when you can keep bringing your guys back and recycling your resources. That's all I got for the deck profile, I think. Just go into some replays. The first replay will be against Dragon Maids. This will be showing the basic game plan if you're going first, which you want to. You're going to go Manju to search Ophiel. We opened up Bethor, which is good because it can allow you to ritual summon Ophiel. Alright, so now we get to Ophiel. Use it to summon Haggith, which allows you to search another Megalith spell. So you got Portal, activate it. Then you go into Auk here. Then you can use your Portal here to target one of your Megalith monsters and add it back. I'm going to add Haggith back because I want to resolve it again to get the continuous trap emergence. So since I've already used this effect to ritual summon using itself and other monsters and material, I can't do that again. I'm just going to set these two. It doesn't look very impressive, obviously, but as you're about to see, it's going to get crazy for my opponent. So they're playing Dragon Maids. They sent Tidying here. They set 4 and they attempt to end their main phase. So this is where you would have Toggle on. So now I'm going to activate Unformed. Tribute a level 4 to summon a level 2, which is full. Gonna add back Bethor to make it level 8. That doesn't really matter here though, because I'm gonna tribute the Bethor to summon another Bethor. So now that I've summoned Bethor, I can target opponents or target cards my opponent controls up to the number of ritual monsters with different names in my graveyard. So I have 4 here. So I can pop 4 cards, which is crazy. Thanks for making this legal, Konami. I mean, this is what you wanted, I guess. No chance. Tries to attack full, but it's protected by portal. Good job. End phase, I'm going to flip up Emergence to get more bodies on the board for Xyz's place. I top deck an Incantation, which is pretty cool, but doesn't matter. So as you can see, it activates on Special Summon. I can add back Ock. I'm going to go into Rhapsody, because I don't want him to... I can feel a delay, so I know he has something to summon with Tidying. I'm just going to banish it. Go into another Bethor. Nuke them both. So that time I could have targeted just two, because I only had two different names. That's all I needed, though. Alright, the Ritual spell. Use it to summon Phaleg. Also unlocks the extra deck. So I can go into Draglubion. There are like several ways to end the game here, but that's just what I chose. I could have kept going. I could have gone into Pain Gainer and then into Seven Sins. The next match will be against Metal Foes / Magispector, which is another one of the stronger decks in this format. This is my first time seeing most of these cards. Like I'd seen them before, but I didn't really know what they do, so I was like kind of reading them. I know these guys can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects for some reason. They're like these tiny monsters that have like the same protection as Chaos Max Dragon, which I find strange. I didn't really know what he was going for. I know they like destroying their own cards. I was going to be mindful of that. Yeah, that's the one that lets him generate advantage on his cards being destroyed. Okay, so we start with Pensive Plume here to get the Candle, which lets me get the Ritual spell. Then we activate Talis Mantra. This is just to get more bodies on board to meet the level requirements. So I get into Ophiel. I go for Haggith again. Get access to Unformed. Now I can use the Ritual spell to add itself back. Then use it again. Let's go forward a little bit here. Going for Phaleg. I go for Unformed into full. And now Bethor to force out his back row. Okay, getting for some damage. Wasn't able to OTK. Maybe there was a way to do it, but I didn't see it. So now he summons a bunch of his weird pendulum monsters. Goes for Yada. So yes, Cyclone. I knew about this one because you can pop one of my cards. I mean, that's fine, whatever. He's gonna have to do more than that to win. And Mithrilium has a bounce. I don't mind it coming back to my hand though, because I can use Phaleg to Ritual Summon if I have another monster. Bethor is protected by the field spell. So now we can use Phaleg. Here he uses a counter trap. I didn't know this card was a thing that existed, so I wasn't really expecting this. So that's nice, I guess, for my opponent. He negates it. gets Tornado, which is another disruption. And he sets the counter trap again. I don't want to let him use that again on me, so I need to destroy it. So here I special summon PHUL with the emergence. Another thing to note is that you can only special summon your Megaliths that have already been properly ritual summoned. That's just a rule of ritual monsters. So I go for Bethor to nuke the counter trap. Still has some more plays. He bounces back the one that was ritual summoned, which makes sense, I guess. And since PHUL was summoned from the graveyard by emergence, it's not considered to be a ritual summoned monster anymore. It's just a special summon monster, so it's not protected by the field spell. Something to keep in mind. And then it returns to the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. So now he uses Tornado. This makes sense. He's trying to cut off the levels, but I do have another level 4 in hand, so I can still summon the Haggith. I'm gonna grab back the Bethor here. Go for Unformed. And now we get our PHUL back. I know these float on destruction, so I'm banishing it with Malevolent Sin. Now I go into PHUL and he's done for. This one's going to be a long one against my opponent who's playing Danger something. It's a weird beatdown deck. Starting off with some incantation plays after summoning Manju. Pretty much set up for Bethor now. He leads with Lightning Vortex, though. And this is where having Geonator would be really good, because it would have protected my PHUL from being destroyed by card effects. DD Warrior Lady to set 3 pass. Strange. Lost Wind, one of the best staples of the format. So it negates my O-Field permanently. And he fires Dogmatic Punishment. He gets a 2. 2 for 1, I guess. Not looking good for me, of course. I'm not drawing the cards that I need. He goes into the Dogman, which is lethal damage on board. But I do have the Lost Wind. So I'm barely surviving here. Here is like a kind of desperation play. I'm just going to go for Bethor to nuke everything. Hope that he doesn't have an out to it. So now Bethor beatdown mode. Top decking incantation's nice here, because it lets me search another ritual monster and add back the spell. Has the bottomless for my Ophiel. It even has the chalice for Haggith. But he's really just delaying here. Then he surrenders. That's all I got for this deck profile. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and follow my Discord. The link is in the description. And feel free to follow me on Master Duel. I make all of my replays public so you can see them at any points. Got 44 followers, which is awesome. Let's get to 50. Thanks for watching, and peace.